It is 2026 and the console wars have never been more interesting. Xbox is betting the house on Game Pass and cloud gaming. PlayStation is flexing its exclusive like nobody's business, and Nintendo just had one of the biggest hardware launches in gaming history. Today we're breaking down who's winning, who's struggling, and where gaming is actually headed. Let's get into it. Starting with Xbox. Xbox isn't playing the console war anymore. They're playing a completely different game. With Game Pass on everything from your phone to your smart TV, Microsoft has essentially turned gaming into a subscription service. The Xbox Series X is a seriously powerful machine, but that is almost beside the point. The real flex? You don't even need an Xbox to play Xbox games. Now, Game Pass has gone through some changes. There are 3 tiers in 2026. Essential is $9.99 a month. You get online multiplayer and a small catalog. Good entry point, but you're not getting day one releases. Step up to premium at $14.99 and you get a much bigger library, 200 plus games across console and PC. Then there's Ultimate at $29.99, and yeah, that's a significant jump, but you're getting everything: 500 plus games, day one first party releases, cloud gaming anywhere, EA Play, Ubisoft Plus subscription, the whole package. The honest take on pricing, $29.99 a month for Ultimate is real money, nearly double what it used to cost. For most people, premium is probably the sweet spot unless you're heavily into day one games and cloud play. But neither way, the Activision Blizzard deal is paying off. Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch, all on Game Pass day one, on pure value. Xbox is generally hard to beat right now. If Xbox is about access, PlayStation is about experience. Sony gets it. They know what their players want. And they've been nailing it for years. Big, cinematic, single-player adventures you cannot get anywhere else. Just look at God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon. These aren't just games, they're events, and Sony keeps delivering. The PlayStation 5 is still the leader when it comes to hardware sales globally, and that is not a coincidence. People buy a PlayStation for those games specifically. PlayStation VR 2 is also quietly becoming the go-to for console VR. The library is growing, and the hardware is legitimately impressive. Now let's talk PlayStation Plus, because the tiers matter. Essential is the entry point, $9.99 a month or $79.99 if you pay for the year. That gets you online multiplayer, 3 to 5 free games every month, cloud saves and store discounts. If you're mainly playing 1 or 2 multiplayer games with some occasional single player, this is honestly all you need. And then you step up to extra at $14.99 a month or $134.99 a year, and you unlock the game catalog. Over 400 PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 titles, including AAA hits and a Ubisoft Plus subscription. This is PlayStation's answer to Game Pass, and it is solid if you like having a big library to explore. Then there's Premium at $17.99 a month or $159.99 a year. That adds cloud streaming, PlayStation 1, 2 and 3 classics with rewind and upscaling features and game trials. It is the everything tier, but it only makes sense if you're going to actually dig into all of that. If you're on the fence between extra and premium, the jump from $134.99 to $159.99 a year is only about $25. But if you're not into retro PlayStation games or cloud streaming, that $25 doesn't buy you much. Most people land on Essential or Extra and never look back. So now let's talk about Nintendo, because the Switch 2 is not a rumor anymore. It dropped in June 2025, sold over 3.5 million units in its first 4 days and hit 17 million by the end of the year. That made it the fastest selling Nintendo console of all time, and by some measures the fastest selling gaming hardware ever. Nintendo didn't just deliver, they absolutely went off. The Switch 2 keeps the hybrid DNA that made the original iconic, but upgrades nearly everything. Bigger screen, 4K docked output, magnetic Joy-Con 2 controllers that can actually work as a mouse, and game chat built right in. Mario Kart World launched alongside it and sold over 14 million copies on its own. As we look at the upcoming games in 2026, and some of them already released, the momentum is not slowing down. On the subscription side, Nintendo Switch Online remains the most affordable of the three. Basic plan is $3.99 a month or $19.99 for the full year. That gets you online multiplayer, a retro games library spanning the NES, the Super NES, the N64 and the Game Boy Advance, plus cloud saves. If you want the premium tier, the expansion pack is $49.99 a year and adds N64, Game Boy Advance and Sega Genesis titles, plus DLC for select games. Compared to what Xbox and PlayStation are charging, it's not even close. Nintendo figured out something that Xbox and PlayStation are still chasing. You don't need the most powerful console, you need the most fun one. And right now the argument has never been stronger. So, who's actually winning in 2026 honestly? It depends on what you value. If you game across multiple devices and want the best content per dollar, Xbox Game Pass at the premium tier is a serious contender. $14.99 a month for 200 plus games on console and PC is legitimately hard to argue with. Just don't sleep on the fact that Ultimate's $29.99 price tag is a real commitment. If you're here for those big cinematic experiences that make your jaw drop, PlayStation is still the gold standard. Essential Plus at $79.99 a year covers your bases, and the exclusive will do the rest of the work. And if you want incredible momentum, the most affordable online service of the three, and a console you can take literally anywhere, Nintendo is on a historic run right now. The Switch 2 might be one of the most exciting pieces of gaming hardware in years. Here is the real truth though. We're in a golden age where there is no wrong answer, just different priorities. Pick the platform that fits how you play, not the one with the loudest fans on the internet. Now tell me, which platform are you riding with in 2026? Are you Team Xbox? Team PlayStation? Or are you part of the Switch 2 gang? Let me know in the comments. If this breakdown helped you out, hit the like button and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.